Okay, so what we've got here is a Landini fruit tractor, and the issue we have is that the PTO release bearing, which you can see here, is completely seized. So this one spins, this is the traction release bearing, and this one is the PTO release bearing. So what has happened is this bearing has seized. You can see the scoring on the disc there, and what has happened is this bearing, this is a new bearing and disc. Here is the PTO, or this is the actual clutch assembly, the PTO and traction clutch. Inner fingers are the traction clutch, which is, the fingers are okay, as you can see, but on the PTO fingers, these are completely worn out here. And the reason for that is because that bearing has seized, or this bearing has seized. This disc, this is a new one, it's supposed to push on the fingers. Well, if you look at it, it just disappears straight down through the middle. So what's happened is someone has left the PTO lever in the wrong position, which has kept this disc pushing against the fingers, which has then seized this bearing, which has allowed this disc to spin and spin and spin, overheat the fingers and melted and gone straight through. So therefore you can't turn your PTO off. So you push the PTO lever in to disengage the PTO, and the PTO keeps spinning. So we can see here the lever is up to run the PTO, so therefore the clutch is engaged and the release bearing is pulled back from the clutch. And if you push it down, you disengage the PTO. Well, this has been left in this lower position, which has been pushing the release bearing into the clutch assembly for, I don't know, I think this has been replaced, this clutch, about a year ago, maybe a few hundred hours, but because the bearing has been pushed in for so long, it overheated and melted the fingers off the clutch. So we had to split it after another sort of few hundred hours and carry out a repair. So what I've decided to do is, because this clutch here isn't that old, this clutch assembly, and all the clutches are okay, and the PTO clutch is almost brand new, as you can see, I'm going to replace the fingers with this finger kit that fortunately is available, which is a lot cheaper than replacing the whole clutch unit. So remember, always leave the PTO lever in the correct place.